Hi YouTube, how are you doing today? I trust that you are doing very, very well. I'm rearranging myself here a little bit. I want to talk to you today about tumors. What exactly is a tumor? Do you really understand what a tumor is? I find that most people don't. Most people, and I talk to dozens of people every week, and I talk to thousands of people every week in the group, in my Facebook groups and various things that I've got going on. And the average person perceives a tumor as cancer, but that's not quite correct. It's not quite correct. We need to understand what a tumor is so that we respond wisely and appropriately. So, a tumor is a containment system. Think of a tumor like a water balloon, okay? A water balloon full of toxic water. That really is a tumor. It's a containment, so I get tangled up in my headphones. It's a containment system that the body has developed to protect and preserve itself. Okay? So the body is funneling, if you will, all these cells and toxins and all this rogue stuff, rogue activity, into this container that we call a tumor. Okay? Now, as soon as you're told you have a tumor, you're told you have cancer, and the general response is, get it out, I don't want it, make it go away. What do we have to do to make it go away? You have to be very careful, though, with this containment system, because the containment system is a body's very clever way of protecting the rest of the body from these harmful elements. All right? So the goal, when you discover that you have a tumor, the first goal is to figure out where the toxicity is coming from. What's the root cause? What is driving rogue cells and that need to be contained? What's creating those? You start to create a response to that. But most people go in for biopsies and surgeries and lumpectomies and all kinds of things that go on. But we have to be very, very careful. Again, think about it like a water balloon. What happens when you take a fine needle to a water balloon? What happens if you take a scalpel to a water balloon? What happens? It's obvious. It's going to leak. You're going to get a little of from the water balloon, or you're just going to get a complete eruption of it. And when that happens, all that hard work that the body has done to contain it is undone. It all floods back into your system. And now the body's in scramble mode. 9 out of 10 times, the majority of times, I'll put it that way, that results in what we're calling metastasis. Metastasis really, in most cases, really is the body scrambling to contain spilled or excessive toxicity. You don't go within a week or 2 or 3 or even a month from having a lump in your breast that you had cut out with a lumpectomy to it being in your lungs, your liver, your hip, your spine, your brain. That does not naturally happen without some propellant. There's got to be some provocation. And very often that provocation is the invasion of the tumor, the container, the disruption of the container. That's the big problem. Now they talk about margins and all of those kind of things, and I don't want to get too deep into that. But the reality here is that a tumor is the body's way of protecting you, protecting the entire system. That's the purpose of a tumor. It's a containment system. It's a containment system. Okay? Do your best not to disrupt the containment system. Do your best to shut off the tap of toxicity. Find the root causes. What is your disharmony? Every disease is a disease of disharmony. Something is out of alignment. Something is not harmonious as it should be. Find that. Find that. Find the disharmony. And once that's resolved, tumors resolve without the risk of invasion. You want to avoid the risk of invasion. It often, generally, serves to create complication. It does not serve to create harmony. And disharmony is the beginning of it all in the first place. You're disharmonious in spirit. You're disharmonious in your thoughts, your thinking, your beliefs. You're disharmonious in your relationships. You're disharmonious in your environment. You're disharmonious in your nutrition. You're disharmonious to nature. You're disharmonious in some way or many ways. Resolve the disharmony, and you won't have to be so panicked and fussed about removing a tumor, because when the toxicity ends, the tumor will resolve. You've got to be very careful. And you've got to be a lot more strategic than the average person is in dealing with these situations. I see it all the time. People will come to me with a tumor, a breast tumor, for example, the size of a pea, and they're panicked, absolutely panicked about it. Now, I'm a really lean guy. I can feel all over my body, and I can find pea-sized things everywhere. I'd be royally messed up if I thought every one of them was a tumor that needed to be removed or biopsied or whatever. I'd be really messed up. You can't look at it that way. You need to look at it and say, okay, there's a pea-sized lump there. You know, the doctor can examine it, and you do your scans or whatever, ultrasound, whatever it is that you want to do, and you discover that it is a cancerous lump. Your first step is, what is out of harmony? Where am I in disharmony in my life? You don't want to run to just poke and cut. You don't want to disrupt the system that the body is busy with. It's a containment system. It's a containment system. The body has isolated the problem, okay? You want to honor that. You want to respect that. You want to acknowledge that. And you want to respond to it, not react to it. You don't have to look at tumors as your enemy. You can actually look at them as a gift. Your body had a way of containing it. And that's a good thing. Allow the containment. Your job, your primary responsibility is to stop the toxicity. Cut off the source. Once you do that, the tumor will, in almost every instance, resolve, unless there's some other propellant, which I'm not going to talk about those here. There are some glaringly obvious ones that we've been dealing with for the last number of years that are acting as propellants that are very difficult to override. But in most cases, naturally occurring, you can resolve it. If you see it as a container of toxicity, and the body actually working to serve your well-being, And you partner with that process by shutting off the tap to the toxicity that the body is scrambling to gather and contain. Okay? Understand tumors. Understand what a tumor really is. View it in a different lens, through a different lens. You'll have a different experience. Your job isn't to remove. Your job is to resolve. So focus on resolution. What's the resolution? Where's the disharmony? And how can you fix that? That really is your mission when you discover a tumor. It's your mission when you receive a diagnosis. Where's the toxicity coming from? One source, multiple sources? Where's it coming from? Where are you not in harmony with the truth of who you are? Where are you not in harmony with nature, the natural cycles and laws of life? Where are you not in harmony? I could list off 100 ways that the average person in the world today, especially in first world countries, is out of harmony. The modern food supply itself is disharmony, especially in first world countries. We got to get back into harmony. We got to realign. We got to see things through the lens of truth. And one truth that I'm sharing with you today is that a tumor is a containment system. It isn't actually the cancer. It's a container of cancer cells and immune cells and. There's a lot involved in a tumor, and it isn't all just cancer. You just got to understand that. And you got to respond to it rather than react to it. Reacting in fear and panic and chaos and turmoil and confusion and with misinformation and misunderstandings and misrepresentations and all that kind of stuff in your head is not going to serve the end goal. The end goal is to be cancer-free, tumor-free. The end goal, the greater end goal, though, is to be in harmony. Harmony with who you are, in harmony with the provision that's been made for you, in harmony with the way that you are naturally designed to live. And very few people are actually doing that. And very few people are actually able to truly live in harmony with nature. We've just created that kind of world. But we've got to do it in every way that we can do it if we wish to manifest our outcome of being cancer-free. So there's your lesson today on what is a tumor and a little bit about how to respond to it. If you want to know more about one-on-one coaching or any of the coaching programs, just drop me a message and we'll connect on that. Meanwhile, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, because we want to grow. Spread the word. And rethink your view on a tumor today. And are you reacting or are you responding? Good question to ask. Share, like, subscribe. I appreciate you, and I look forward to more. Talk to you soon.